What is happening, sports fans? Welcome to the DFS 5-Pack. It is your host, Matt Bellman, rocking it solo Saturday night. We're going to talk over this main Sunday slate. My partner Ryan's off for the weekend, so you got me solo. And I figured why not do the video tonight while we got some Saturday night action going on and get the info out to you guys a little earlier. Alrighty, let's screen share this. A typical Sunday slate tomorrow. A bunch of different ways to go. Not really pigeonholed into going a definite way here. And the first guy I want to bring up, it's easy. I could pick the low-hanging fruit and talk about Verlander against his old team. But I really want to talk over Tyler Anderson, who has just been damn good and is pitching himself into a viable guy even in Coors Field. Look at the last three games, 35-37, and he came back down to earth a little bit with a 23. Well, he's $800 less than he was when he threw up that 23. I think he's in another good spot tomorrow. Is Seattle a team we want to pick on? No, of course not. But when we're looking at guys, under 8K, you got to give them a little wiggle room. With how Anderson's pitched, at this price, I'd take him against pretty much anyone. Again, would I use him in cash games? Probably not, because it's Coors Field and the slightest things can ruin a day. But in tournaments, I think he's for sure viable. Look at the guys he's priced around. He's right in between Chacin and DeSclafani. He's just a better pitcher than those guys right now. And I'm a fan of those guys, but the way Anderson's pitching, he's just he's more talented at this moment. I got a lot of interest in Anderson in tournaments. It's definitely risky, but that's what GPPs are about. Alrighty, moving on down. My BVP special guy that has really picked up his game in the last couple months, that's going to be Matt Carpenter. Homered again today. That game is currently going on. Has massive BVP against DeSclafani. He is 8 for 17 with 5 extra base hits, 2 bombs, a triple, and 2 doubles. It's a 471 average. Sees the ball very well off him. Again, he's really hot right now. He's been hot for the last while. As I mentioned, he homered again today. I like St. Louis a little bit tomorrow. I want some bits and pieces, and he's the piece that I really want. Even if I don't have room for any other St. Louis guys, I want Carpenter exposure. Speaking of guys that are just too cheap, that's going to be Manny Machado at 4.6 here. If you look at the shortstop position, Lindor, Story, Bogarts, Segura, Profar are all higher than him. I understand, the top couple. But as far as I'm concerned, Machado should always be around the 5K range. And on a slate like this, a full Sunday slate, that $400 difference makes a big difference. He's $1,000 cheaper than Lindor. He's $500 less than Bogarts. He's $100 cheaper than Profar. This is a price play for me on an elite player, a guy that the really only concern is the trade, which could happen at any day. You just got to risk that. He's going to get traded at some point. Will it happen mid-game? Who knows? All right, now to a guy that I watched a lot of today, and he looked really good in my eyes, and that's going to be Jorge Bonifacio. If you guys remember last year, he was good. He had good numbers off of lefties, and then he was suspended for the first 80 games of this year. Well, he's starting to come alive right now, 41 DK points in those last 2 games, has been terrorizing White Sox pitching this series, and I think it continues tomorrow against Giolito. We've seen Giolito be really bad, especially at home. I think, we always want to target against him, and while it's hard to find pieces of Kansas City we really want to use, Bonifacio is becoming that guy. I like Merrifield. You can always look at Moustakas, Salvador Perez, and I like Bonifacio quite a bit here. Now to another guy that's just way too cheap. We've seen Rosario in the 5K range recently. Well, his price has dipped, but his production has not. 19-8, and today he had 17+. Big part of this Twins lineup. Not sure who's going to pitch for Tampa tomorrow, but at best it's bullpen day. I like Rosario a ton here. I want a couple pieces of the Twins, and Rosario, as far as I'm concerned, is their top piece right now. So that's what I got for you guys. If you want baseball, and before you know it, football's here. So let's get it, guys. Thanks.